Hey everyone, welcome to .NET Empire. My name is Venkatesh and I'm a technical consultant at Microsoft. I just want to start off with a very big virtual hug and thank you for all the love and support that you are showering on this channel. You guys are the best. After our first video, I got a couple of requests from our viewers saying that it would be very great if I can create one video on Azure OpenAI model deployments. In this video, I'll just show you how you can create your Azure OpenAI resources and deploy various OpenAI models into this subscription. So please make sure you watch till the end of the video since I'll be explaining the availability of these models in the different regions. And then there is one interesting point. After I have seen this analytics, I found that around 60% of our views are coming from the unsubscribed persons. So I would request you to please go ahead and subscribe this channel since there is a series of videos where I'll be explaining the real-time and practical examples where you can use this Azure OpenAI model in the real-world application. So please consider subscribing this channel to get notified on the upcoming videos. Alright, let's dive into the video without wasting further time. Let's get started with the creation of the Azure OpenAI resource. You can directly go and search in the search box for the Azure OpenAI like this. Or if you have already created these Azure OpenAI resources, you may find them in the Azure services like this. So I'm just clicking on this Azure OpenAI. It will navigate us to this page where you can see your previous resources which you have already created. Otherwise, you can go ahead and click on this create button to start with. So let's start creating the new Azure OpenAI resource. Once you come to this page, you have to select your active subscription and then choose your resource group. I'm just going with my existing resource group. In your case, you can create your new resource group as well. And then it is very important to choose the right region for you. For my case, I have chosen this East US. And in your case, you can choose the best region which is near to you and also where the more models are available for you to test it out. So let us give a name. .NET Empire Test. For now, you are only allowed to use the standard tier. I'm going with that one. And then click on next. And then you can configure this network setting. And for now, I'm just keeping them as defaults. Then tags, the same case. Then finally come to the review and submit. Yeah, it may take some time to validate all the settings that you have chosen. Then you can just go ahead and click on the create button. Then the deployment will start for the Azure OpenAI resource. If your deployment is also successful, this is the page that you are going to see after the deployment. And now here couple of things that you should be aware. One of them is this option. After clicking on this option, it will take you to the Azure OpenAI Studio where you can further deploy your models and play around. This is another section where you can find the API keys and endpoint for your Azure OpenAI resource. This is our Azure OpenAI Studio and this interface offers you a couple of options. But for this video, we will be only looking at the deployment section. So to start deploy your model, you need to click on these deployments under the management section. So let's click on the deployment here, which will take you to this pop-up where you can choose the model that you wanted to deploy here. Yeah, for this example, let me choose this option, GPT-35 Turbo. And then you have to provide some deployment name. And this deployment name will be used in our actual coding. So let me give the same deployment for now. In your case, you can choose whatever you want. Let me click on this create button and wait for the deployment to be completed. As you have seen here, the deployment is completed. Now let's start use this our playground. Let's use the playground to use this deployed model to perform some simple operations. In order to go to the playground, you can choose any of these options, but for now I'm choosing this chart option under the playground section. Let's click on the chart. This is the chart playground. There are a couple of important things that you need to be aware. So this is the deployment where you can select the deployment which you have deployed. In our case, we just deployed only single model, so it is automatically selected. But if there is a requirement to create a multiple deployment, then you can choose in between. And then you just make sure the model is perfectly working. Let's try with a simple prompt. What is C#? If you are also seeing the same error, that means the model is just created, so it is not available. Just wait for us 5 minutes, it will be available for you. I'm retrying after the 5 minutes since I got an error before. Now let's try with a simple prompt. What is C sharp? Wait for some time. As you have seen, LLM started responding back. That means your model deployment is successful. I would recommend you to go ahead and deploy the multiple models and then compare the responses between these models. It would give you some idea on this model how they are working. With this, the Azure OpenAI resource creation and the model deployment and then finally trying out those models in the playground is completed. After your model creation, I would recommend you to go to our first video and try those examples. And do let me know in the comment box if you are facing any issues while you are working on that examples. If you like this content and wanted to see more about this Azure OpenAI and semantic kernel and furthermore, please go ahead and subscribe this channel